Hello, and in this unit, we've been studying conservation of momentum in one dimension. Now we're going to look at an example problem of how to deal with collisions that are in two dimensions. So you see on the screen here a 2,000 kilogram car heading east, 25 meters per second. That is this one right here, the green sphere, colliding with a 4,000 kilogram truck traveling north at 10 meters per second. And then the two become entangled and travel as one after the mass. So the first thing we want to do is draw a vector to represent their direction after the collision. So I want you to try this just using your intuition, your physics gut. Pause the video, decide on what you think the answer might be, and then resume the video. Okay, so what direction did you pick? Hopefully, and most students do, pick a direction somewhere that is a combination of the vector that is pointed to the right and the vector that is pointed to the up. So there's some sort of vector that is some combination of something like this. That's what most students, with their just right on the forefront with their physics gut would think. And they're actually correct, because one thing we know about momentum is that it is something called conservation of linear momentum, meaning that its conservation of momentum exists. Initial momentum is final momentum. It exists, but it exists in the horizontal, the x direction, and the y direction separately. So this is another case of how the horizontal does not affect the vertical. So as a result, when we do these two-dimensional collision problems, we are going to have to think of the x and y directions separately. So what we are going to do is we're going to use our idea of conservation momentum, and we are going to solve for this triangle, or excuse me, for this velocity, as if it has two components. We're going to certainly solve for it as having an x component and having a y component. And then what we're going to need to do at the end is assemble these components to get a vector. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the slide, and we're going to go ahead and determine the velocity, magnitude, and direction of the mass after the collision. So again, to kind of remind you here, we're looking at there being an x component here. And a y component here. Now, exactly, what angle and things this ends up will end up being will depend a little bit on some of the initial information. So we couldn't necessarily, per se, without doing a little bit of math, say that it was going to go more up or more left a little bit, but what we do know is at least, excuse me, up and right. But what we do know is at least going to go some combination of up and to the right, and we're going to figure out more specifically what that is. So when you're doing a 2D collision problem, because again, it's conservation of linear momentum, so we're going to be dealing with momentum in the x and y direction separately, you need to make sure that you break vectors into their x and y components. So that's always your first step. So we're going to go ahead and label the picture and check to make sure that we have everything in our x and y components. So that's my mass of 2,000 kilograms. This is my velocity of 25 meters per second. And I want to look at that, and I see it's going purely horizontal. So this is actually a Vx in and of itself. The Vy component is 0. And then here is my 4,000 kilogram truck. And it is going north at 10 meters per second. And that is a Vy. And the Vx piece is 0. So actually in this problem, this is a little bit of a simple problem where we already have the pieces given are already broken down into x and y components. We don't need to do anything more with that. If there's something here was given on an angle, such as, I'm just going to kind of draw something, such as something like this, then you'd want to use sine and cosine to break it apart. So just watch out for that as you're doing problems here. Okay, now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to basically use conservation momentum in the x direction to solve for velocity, and conservation in the y direction, again, to solve for velocity. So we're going to do those two things separately. Then we'll get components Vx, Vy we have to reassemble into a triangle for our final magnitude and direction. So, and I like to just label here x direction. So I say initial momentum in my x direction is going to equal my final momentum in the x direction. So then I'm just going to start taking the mass times my velocity. That's moving essentially to the right, to the east, but to the right, so that's in the positive direction. Plus 0 coming from the other one. And then they are becoming entangled as one mass. So at the end of this collision, we're going to treat this as one 6,000 kilogram mass. Vx, and solve for Vx. And so I get velocity here, positive 8.33 meters per second. So we have found that the x piece of this triangle right here is positive 8.33 meters per second. All right, now do the same thing for the y direction. So we're going to take the 4,000 kilogram times the 10 meters per second. Again, that is positive because it's going up. The other one has 0. Don't even necessarily need to write it in the equation. I do just kind of as a checklist. Helps me mentally. Punching it in my calculator now. And I get here another positive 6.67. We'll round that up. So that is saying that this piece right here is 6.67 meters per second. So what we have just done is found the two components of this final velocity. We want to now find the actual total velocity, magnitude, and direction. So this is going to be basically, using a little bit of right triangle geometry. So I am going to redraw it down here in the bottom just so I have more space to do this. You could work it out there at the top, but I want to be able to write, what I'm doing just to remind you. So we want to reassemble. So we are going to, I'm going to draw our object here. And when you are labeling and drawing these right triangles, just remember you want to make sure that you're always going to draw it going, the vector with the arrow pointing away from the object. So for the way I tend to do it is I am going to draw my X piece first, and I'm going to label that as 8.33 meters per second. And then where the X piece ends, I'm going to draw the Y piece either up or down from it. So right here, this case up because it's positive. I'm not going to draw it as big because it isn't as big. And then our final answer here, I'll put it in red just to kind of emphasize what we really want. We don't want the X and Y components is what we want here. The final answer is this hypotenuse. So this is going to be my total velocity, and that is going to be my magnitude, the length of this side of the triangle. Right here where I've labeled is going to be my angle. So we need to find these again using right triangle geometry. This should be familiar to you at this point in the course. So we're going to find the total velocity using Pythagorean theorem. So I'm going to take 8.33 squared plus 6.67 squared. And then since, take a square root to solve for the the hypotenuse here. And then what I will do to find the angle, that would be right here. I'm going to use, really you could use your favorite trig function. For me, this is going to be tangent function. And it's going to be the arctan, the tan -1 function to get the angle. And remember, tangent is always, always, always opposite over adjacent. So I'm going to take the 6.67 over the 8.33 and put both of those in my calculator. Make sure your calculator's in degree mode when you calculate this. So I get a total velocity here of 10.7 meters per second and an angle of 38.7 degrees. And just like in previous units in this course, when you have something that is a vector answer, the proper full solution is the labeled triangle with the components of the vector. So this is what our correct answer is to the problem at this point. One final note I want to make is just kind of looking at the angle here. We're getting an angle that is 38 degrees, 39 degrees. So that is something that is moving more to the right than it is up. And the question is, why is that? In these types of simple situations where you have one object moving horizontally and one object moving vertically, what's going to end up happening is the object is going to move in the direction more of where there is more momentum. So actually, if we had looked at this from a momentum standpoint, if we had taken the 200 times the 25, that's more momentum than the 2,000 times the 25. That's more momentum than the 4,000 times the 10, which is why this thing went more across than it did up. If we had given the truck a little bit of a higher velocity to give it more momentum, then it would have pushed these objects a little bit more up, than it would have across. So that's kind of generally how to predict where they go. Now, in some cases, you can't do that very easily if they're going at angles and a little more complex, but if you can, it can certainly help you with your problem solving. Okay. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, reach out to your teacher. And as always, happy learning.